Hello, Fantasy Faithfuls, and welcome back to the CSD Fantasy live stream. I'm so happy to be back after Thanksgiving, being back, answering some football-related questions, fantasy, as usual. I have a bunch of people joining in already, but as always, checking in on the sound, making sure that everything is good. I will, as usual, keep a high tempo as we've been having so many people join in lately that I've almost not been able to answer all questions, so I will keep a higher tempo. Just want to let everybody know we're starting like 5 minutes early today, and we'll keep going until 1 as usual, or a couple minutes to 1. If we hit 35 likes, we'll have another giveaway next week as usual. We didn't really reach the target last week, so no giveaway this one. But we've had 2 giveaways so far this year, and keep the likes coming. It helps the channel a ton. And I always try to show my appreciation with Amazon giveaway card the next week after we reach the like goal. As usual as well, please share on social media to grab the attention of as many people as possible. The more people that join in, the more fun for everybody. So let's dig in as usual. Did I remove that one? Because I believe that was Mirza. Let's do some shout-outs and make sure Mirza is here before we answer his or her question. Wesley, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Mirza, we got Raven, Dan DiMarino, Mellow Fan as usual, Nicholas Carone, what's up, man? Shane, welcome to the stream. Gavin, happy to have you on board as always. Mirza, I'm here. Awesome, let's do this. Terry McLaurin, LaShawn McCoy, Tevin Coleman, or Will Fuller. I'm thinking McLaurin, but would love to hear what you think. It's half-point PPR. I said McLaurin had more upside than LaShawn McCoy to somebody before. McCoy also comes with a buttload of risk this week. Tevin Coleman has a little bit lower risk than McLaurin, 7.9 projection. Will Fuller has a higher projection, a little bit higher risk, but still not crazy high about McLaurin. He comes with the most amount of upside, even though he plays New England, which is crazy. Half-point PPR. So that would be 2.5 points instead of 5, and 2 points instead of 4. If you want crazy gambling upside, I'm going Will Fuller. Otherwise, I'm going Terry McLaurin. Was it how many receptions? Yes, Terry McLaurin just above Tevin Coleman. In a PPR league, but crazy upside Will Fuller. Otherwise Terry McLaurin. I would probably go Terry. Will Fuller is a gamble. It's very much a gamble. We got Wesley asking about Alshon Jeffrey and Melvin Gordon in a PPR league. Perfect. 10 points versus they have about the same risk, so much higher projection for Gordon. Higher floor, higher ceiling, lower bust risk, decent boom chance for both of them. Jeffrey has an easier opponent. Is that right? Yeah, Miami. 5 receptions, 3 receptions, so that's 2.5 points versus 1.5. So I'm going Melvin Gordon over Alshon Jeffrey. And, well, it was full point PPR. My bad. Still Gordon over Jeffrey. How much was it? 12 versus 13. I still do Gordon over Jeffrey. Raven Gamer says, thanks for helping me on my running back situation on my Twitter, my man. You're welcome is the word I'm looking for. No problem at all. Happy to help out. And we got Wesley with Kenyon Drake or Chris Carson. Definitely Carson. Projection is much higher, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling. Higher bust chance, but the floor is much higher. Higher boom chance, even though he has a higher floor ceiling, I mean. Tougher opponent, but I'm fine with that. Is this a PPR league? Yes. It's still 3 receptions versus 4 receptions. So just a point differential, but 3.5 points higher projection for Chris Carson. So I like Carson, even though he has a tough matchup against Minnesota over Kenyon Drake. Then we have Wesley with Jack Doyle or Jacob Hollister. This one is more even, but Hollister has the higher projection, lower risk, lower floor, but a much higher ceiling. Good boom chance for Jack Doyle, though. Easy opponent for both of them. Is this full point PPR? Yes, 4 receptions for Hollister. So I'm going to go Hollister versus Minnesota over Jack Doyle versus Tennessee. So let me do do some changes down here that y'all can't see. But I'll be back answering the next question. That is Kareem Hunt and Benny Snell for Wesley. Kareem Hunt, is this a PPR as well? Yes, full point PPR. We got Benny Snell at 9.3. A lot of risk. Not too much upside either way. Tough opponent. 5 receptions for Kareem Hunt. I'm going to go Kareem Hunt on this one. I feel way more comfortable. Both have tough opponents. Hunt has been catching a lot of passes lately. Has a higher floor. Ceiling is about the same. So I will go with Kareem Hunt on that one. And feel pretty confident. Mello, what's up? Happy to have you on board as always. How about them Cowboys? Yeah, I don't know what to say, man. It's going downhill. It's going downhill quickly. We got Wesley again with Sterling Shepard. Alshon Jeffrey. Or Tyler Lockett in full point PPR. I would also like to do a shout out to a video I made recently this week on Tuesday, I believe. It's touchdown leaders from the Super Bowl era. If you get all your questions answered, please head over to the YouTube channel. Well, we are on the YouTube channel, but head over to that video. It's only 3.5 minutes long, and check it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. It helps out a lot if you want me to create even more of those bar chart races for wide receiver position, running back position, and so on. This is Wesley for a full point PPR. Sit 1. Okay, we're sitting 1. Don't want to sit Tyler Lockett, and I don't want to sit Sterling Shepard in a PPR league. I'm going to sit Alshon Jeffrey. I don't trust that passing game too much, even against Miami. I have the other two for way more receptions. So I would sit Alshon. I'm sitting Alshon over Lockett. I don't own Sterling Shepard, but I'm sitting Alshon over for Lockett in at least one league, and then I'm sitting Alshon in another league as well. Can't remember who I'm sitting him for. We got Dan DeMarino asking about Robert Woods, LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy is going to be very risky to play this. He has 80% risk. DK Metcalf in a full point PPR league. Higher projection, full point. Let's check out the receptions, because I think I have a lot of them for Woods. You have 5 receptions for Woods. All of them have easy opponents. DK has the easiest one. He comes with more upside than Woods, but it's a big boom chance for Wood this week with 10% to be above the ceiling. DK has lower risk. Woods has a higher floor, more receptions. I don't really trust this projection for LaShawn McCoy. It seems very high with the 80% risk. Anything above 65 for a running back is a little iffy. Wide receiver, I can go a little higher. Yeah, that seems... They seem a little low, the projections, though. I like to keep the wide receiver risk a little bit higher, so 47 is pretty safe. 53 as well. I would, if I need a gamble, who was this? This is Dandy Marino. If I need a gamble, I'm going LaShawn McCoy. And if I need safe points, I'm going Robert Woods. I personally would, depending on the league that I'm in, if I'm playing somebody who has McCaffrey, I'm probably going McCoy. You need safety, I'm going Robert Woods then. Definitely Robert Woods. Easy opponent. Metcalf is more boom or bust. Robert Woods, I feel confident in this matchup. In a PPR league. Yeah, it is a PPR league. Perfect. Nicholas Corona, are you standing up for the Cowboys? Appreciate that, man. Don't make fun of the Cowboys. No, just make fun of Jason Garrett. That's about it. Leave the players alone. We got Nicholas Carone asking about Joe Mixon, Mark Ingram. This is a good one. High projection for Ingram, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling, low bust risk, low boom chance. Tough opponents for both of them. The Jets are actually really, really good at stopping running backs. So it's not like this is a given, even though San Francisco have been fantastic at stopping running backs. 2 receptions for both of them. So PPR doesn't really change anything. I'm still going Mark Ingram. They say that the weather is going to be terrible in the San Francisco-Baltimore game in Baltimore. So I think the running game is going to be even bigger than what it usually is for the Ravens, because they will have to keep the ball on the ground, and I think that's going to benefit them even more, even though the San Francisco 49ers have played a game in terrible weather this year and won that one, but that was against the Redskins. So, you know, that doesn't give too much. So I will go with Mark Ingram on this one. Where are we? We are at Shane, who wants to know about Odell Beckham Jr. or Philip Lindsay. I know who this is going to be. It's going to be a Lindsay. This is a PPR game. I have him for 3 receptions, Odell for 5. But with a high projection, higher risk though, but 52. Okay, now we're talking like this is a good amount of risk. 50-50 about being above or below 11.2. But he has a higher floor and a higher ceiling. Low bust risk. Decent boom chance for both of them. Not above 4, but not like below 2. And the opponent is fantastic for Lindsay. I think he's going to do really well today. 11.2, I like that. 3 receptions versus 5. So I would start Lindsay over Beckham. It's crazy how Beckham has fallen from grace. But let's bring up just for fun. This is more even. In a PPR league, 5 receptions. He would surpass Lindsay in a PPR league. But Beckham would not. I'm starting Jarvis Landry. He was the first guy I put in my DFS lineup today. He is on my must-start list for sure. That was Shane. We got Mello with his whole team. Rodgers, Bell, Jacobs, Jeffrey, Diggs, Panthers defense, and Sirline. And you're playing Winston, Lindsay, Shady, Edelman, Ertz, Woods, Gonzalez. I think he is gambling with Winston, as always. Gambling with Shady. Edelman is safe. Ertz says he's going to play, but if you're having issues, he might leave the game, which is uncomfortable. Woods is a safe play, but not like crazy amount of points. Gonzalez is decent. Sirline, I think, is going to have a little bounce back. Panthers defense, I really like them in this game. Diggs is a little boomer bust. Jeffrey is a little boomer bust today as well with that passing game. Jacobs, another one of my DFS picks for the day. I'm really excited about him. Bell as well. I have him in DFS as well. I really like those running backs that you have, and I think they're going to carry you to the win. And Rodgers as well. I think those are the 3 you're going to lean on. And he only has Edelman and Woods to lean on. Oh, well, Edelman and Lindsay to lean on for like double-digit points. That will be good. Woods will touch on double-digit that's his floor. But I think Diggs, his ceiling is so high that if Woods go off and Diggs go off, Diggs is going to go off harder. Wesley, Nicholas Carone, and you're down by 18, Mello. Okay. No, but I missed Gavin's question. My bad, Gavin. Sterling Shepard and Robbie Anderson. And then I'm going to go to your question, Nicholas. Anderson. There we go. I am going Sterling with a high projection, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling. I feel like I've answered this question today. On Twitter, probably. Yeah, more receptions as well. So I would go with Sterling Shepard over Robbie Anderson. Yeah, and I feel pretty good about that. How would that look against Jameson Crowder? I will go Crowder probably over Shepard. They're pretty darn close. Let's keep Crowder up because I believe that Nicholas had Jamison Crowder or Benny Snell. Benny Snell is going to be that high risk, high reward type of guy. That y'all know that I'm not super high on. I see that we're already reached 13 likes. That is fantastic. If we reach 35 today, it will be another giveaway next week. So please hit that like button if you enjoy the stream and share on social media to bring even more people on board. The more people that join in, the better the chances to reach the 35 likes. 14 likes. Thank you so much. Benny Snell or Jamison Crowder. Was this Nicholas? Is this a PPR league? Let's see. Let's do some shout outs while Nicholas answers that question. Felipe Del Rio, welcome to stream. Happy to have you on board. We have Jonathan M. Weber, welcome to you, sir. Sherman Jones, welcome as always. Eden, what's up? We got David Lasher, welcome to the stream. C. Phil, what's up? Miracle Man, hello. Demetrius Bird, nice to see you as always. And this is a PPR league, says Nicholas. Perfect. Let's scroll up again back to Nicholas' question before. Yes. So PPR league, I'm definitely going Jamison Crowder, no doubt. I have him for a lot of receptions this week. How many did I have? 6. Yeah, no, he's a PPR monster, especially against Cincinnati. I think he's going to catch a ton of balls and have an. If one of them can go for a touchdown, he's going to be fantastic. Felipe Del Rio, we got Jarvis Landry, Cooper Kupp. Yeah, I'm starting Jarvis Landry. He has a high projection, but he has higher risk, but he has a higher floor, a little bit lower ceiling, higher boom chance, and 5 receptions for 6 receptions. So they both end about 16. Jarvis Landry is on my must start this week. Cooper Kupp is kind of leaning on what he's done in the past. He does have a really good matchup though in this week. I really thought Jarvis Landry would be higher than Cooper Kupp, and I can't believe I've put Jarvis Landry as a must start when Kupp is this nice. He does have more upside though. Jarvis Landry is safer to play with the floor, but that's about it. Kupp comes with more upside. I was really confident it was going to be Jarvis Landry on this one. I'm going to have to change that and go with Cooper Kupp above Jarvis Landry. He does have the risks are very close though. I'm going Jarvis Landry based on that floor, and he does have a high projection with a fairly good risk. I'm going Jarvis Landry in a PPR league, and I would have gone Jarvis Landry in a standard as well. He is one of my favorite this week, and I'm not moving away from that just because the risk is a little higher. So that was Felipe. We got Wesley. New England Patriots or Pittsburgh Steelers. DSTs. 9.8 lower risk. Higher floor for the Steelers. Much higher ceiling for the Patriots. Easier opponent for the Patriots. Houston usually give up a lot of points to DSTs. Well, a lot. 1.4 more than Cleveland. But that's 10 ranking spots, which is kind of crazy. But I'm going New England over the Steelers, even though I love the Steelers as a DST right now. But you haven't really been able to pick up the Patriots. You have been able to pick up the Steelers off of waivers, so that's why I've been so high on them, because they were the best defense to be picked up. But I'm going the Patriots over the Steelers still. They've been like fantasy MVP worthy. Mello wants to know about the Carolina Panthers or San Francisco 49ers. This is also a good one. But high projection, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling. Terrible opponent with Baltimore. I still think that, like, with the weather, I still think they will get a couple of sacks and stuff like that. The ball can fumble away, shit like that happens. It's usually not conducive to offensive football when the weather is terrible. So I give the 49ers an edge over the Panthers. In this one, I trust them more than I do the Panthers. And if you didn't know, I've spoken about this before. The projection is also based off of this number, how many points the other team usually give up. So even like the projection is adjusted for the 3.2 and the 7.5. So if a team usually give up 7.5 and you only land at 8, that means your own skills maybe aren't as impressive as they seem to be. While the San Francisco 49ers are extremely impressive, having 3.2 points on average from Baltimore if we adjust for the entire season in the last 3 weeks, and they still land at 9.5. That means they're very impressive. So even against a tough opponent, they're still projected to score 9.5. So I like the 49ers over the Panthers. Mirza said, makes sense, thanks. Need win to secure number 1 seed. Oh, that's awesome. Good luck to them. I hope you get it. Unless we play in the same league, then I want the number 1 seed. But otherwise you're good. We got Jonathan wants to know about Jack Doyle, Ryan Griffin, or Dallas Goedert in half-point. Dallas Cowboys? Dallas Goedert in half-point PPR. So we got Ryan Griffin with the high projection, lower risk. Jack Doyle with a high floor, but a much higher ceiling for Griffin. Easier opponent with the Cincinnati Bengals. Tennessee and Miami are tied for 9th against tight ends with 8.4 points on average. All 3 of them are predicted for 3 receptions, leaving Ryan Griffin as my winner in this one with 5.7 plus 1.5 points for PPR. Goddard has lower risk, but his ceiling is not too nice. And you see that the bust risk is almost 0 for 0.1. These people have still above 4% bust risk with a floor that's pretty low. So I prefer Ryan Griffin. In this one, he has more upside. And we're looking at more upside now as we move closer to the fantasy playoffs. And we really need those wins to squeeze in there if we're struggling or, securing the number 1 seed like Mirza. Sherman says Fournette or Carson in half-point PPR. There's a lot of people playing half-point PPR. Love it. Leonard Fournette. Half-point PPR is the ultimate way to play fantasy football. Chris Carson, not Chris Moore. There we go. Higher risk for Fournette, but a higher projection. Same floor, higher ceiling for Fournette. Lower bust risk. High boom chance, though, for Chris Carson. Tough opponents for both of them. Way more receptions. So in a half-point PPR, he reaches 16. That gives an edge to Fournette with a lot more receptions against Tampa. Tampa have been good to running backs, but, Fournette's going to gain 1.8, 1.8, 1.8, 1.8, 60. That's what he does. It's extremely frustrating to watch. It's not one of my favorite guys. I love Chris Carson, but I still have to go with Fournette in this matchup. He has more upside, and with the receptions, he edges out Carson, in my opinion. I am benching Carson in one league and playing him in one league. I have Philip Lindsay above him in the PPR league. And Austin Eckler. Anyway, that was, I would go Fournette over Carson and half-point PPR. We got Eden. Hey, bud, what's up? Darrell Williams. What's the rest of the question? Oh, it comes back down there. Darrell Williams. LaShawn McCoy. Darius Geis. Or Christian Kirk or Larry Fitzgerald, who I always misspell, so I have him saved down there so I can bring him up. In a standard scoring league. So it's not going to be Fitz. He's way below. Darrell comes with more risk than Geis, even though his projection is lower ceiling than most of them and a lower floor. So I'm going to remove Darrell Williams. LaShawn McCoy comes with a butt ton of risk. Christian Kirk, lower risk, good prediction. Lowest floor, though, that's concerning, but a lot of upside. All 3 of them have favorable matchups. I would go with Christian Kirk for the upside in this one. And I really like what he's been doing. I would check, when is this game being played? This is a 4 o'clock game, right? the Christian Kirk one against the Rams, or am I mistaken? Because I know what's his name? Kyler Murray had some issues with his hamstring, but I would still go with Christian Kirk on that one. Yeah, I'm going Kirk for the upside against the Rams. All three favorable matchups for Eden. Yeah, and then we have Raven Gaming, top running backs of the week. The comparison of Kareem Hunt, Mark Ingram, Carson. You just want to see. You want to see that one? We can oblige. Kareem Hunt, Chris Carson, or Mark Ingram. And it's going to be Mark Ingram here again. High prediction, lower risk. Well, low risk for Carson. About the same floor, but much higher ceiling. Tough opponents for all three of them. Kareem Hunt would be my least favorite of these three. With Mark Ingram going number one. My top rank one is a little... I mean, what you gonna do? I almost feel like 22.1 is low, which is concerning. But his ceiling is 33.5. Like, it's... Christian McCaffrey has been my highest ranked running back for a couple of weeks. Oh, couple of weeks. When I say that, it's a lot of weeks. Where did I go? I lost. Top streaming tight ends. Ryan Griffin, Jacob Hollister, Hunter Henry, if he's out there, is probably my favorite one. But he's been picked up in a lot of leagues. So Ryan Griffin he can be out there, and I think he's going to be a good addition this one. Jacob Hollister is right below Griffin. Dan DeMira, you need safety. That was the only one. That was the older one. My bad. David Lasher, Carlos Hyde or Kareem Hunt. Carlos Hyde or Kareem Hunt. This might be much lower risk for Carlos Hyde. Same floor, higher ceiling, lower bust risk, high boom chance though. Tough opponent against New England. If this is PPR, David, I'm going Kareem Hunt. If this is standard, I'm going Carlos Hyde. I want to make sure that you got this answer and haven't left the stream. So let's do a couple of shout outs, because I see Justin Walsh enter the stream. Welcome on board, sir. How you doing, man? And like I always say, while we wait for David Lasher to answer if this will stand or PPR, if we reach 35 likes, there will be another giveaway next week as usual. Share on social media to bring in as many people as possible. The more people that come on, the more likes we get, and we can reach those giveaway numbers. I'm not sure David is still here. I see some people have left the stream, which is unfortunate, before I could get to their question. But we'll leave that one up down here if David joins in. Let's put David's name here, David Lasher. So if he joins in later, he can see that that's the answer for him. Dante Marino, you're welcome. No problem, man. Darren Waller or Dallas Goddard for Wesley. Darren Waller has a much higher projection, low risk for both of them, higher floor, higher ceiling, easier opponent. Everything is looking fantastic for Waller. 5 receptions in a PPR league. Waller is definitely my pick. He's my pick in standard as well. Really like him in this game. And I would like to start him myself if I owned him, which is an issue. C-Phil, what's up, man? PPR, need 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Odell Beckham Jr., Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, Tyrell Williams, Jamal Williams, and Ronald Jones. Oof. Okay, you need 1 wide receiver and 1 flex. Let's start with the flex and see who's highest ranked. Highest projection, but also the highest risk for Rojo. Higher ceiling for Jamal Williams. PPR, let's look at the PPR points. Who has the most receptions? 15, 13. So Devontae Parker is looking pretty good. 5 receptions for who else? Will Fuller. That seems like a lot. Highest ceiling for Will Fuller, but he's such a gamble this week against New England Patriots. I like Devontae Parker against Philly. And I would gamble on... I would probably start Ronald Jones and Devontae Parker in this one. I would gamble on Rojo with the higher projection, even though he has the highest risk. He has the easiest opponent for running backs. And Devontae Parker has an easy matchup, a lot of receptions coming his way, and a higher projection than OBJ. And they have the same amount of receptions projected. Let's see the next question where I lost track. Seafield, you're welcome. And MathQuest, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board as always. Where did Miracle Man? Thanks for the help on Twitter. No problem. Going with Gurley, RB2, Jamal Williams, and Shepard in flex. Okay, that's what you're going. Or is that a question, Miracle Man? I might have misunderstood. Put another. Oh, there we go. Question down below, Miracle Man. If the Gurley, Jamal Williams, and Shepard was a question, or if it was just a statement on a previous one. Demetrius, Tannehill or Darnold? That's a good one. Ryan Tannehill or Sam Darnold? I want Sam Darnold. I want Ryan Tannehill. I mean, no, with the easy opponent. I want both of them. This is a tough one. I really like both of them. Tannehill has a high projection, lower risk, highest floor, higher ceiling, high boom chance, tougher opponent. But I like Ryan Tannehill over Sam Darnold. I must say, even though since he has been terrible, Ryan Tannehill been looking good. They're moving forward. It's a tough game against Indy, but I think Ryan Tannehill has the better numbers than Darnold right now. If it's oh, and you say if you don't need a win, playing for seeding. Then I would gamble on Sam Darnold just because of the matchup, like that he was going to go off for like 35. I don't think Tannehill is going to go off at 35, but Darnold has a chance to do that based on that matchup. Miracle Man, thank you for clarifying, man. Yeah, it was a lot of Twitter questions, so I was confused if I got to that one, Miracle. Nicholas, I'm going to give you a shout out to all my friends. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that a ton. Shout outs to your friends means a ton to me. That means that y'all appreciate the stream and that you find the content useful, and that's the best. What is the word for it? Praise you can get, like the word of mouth to other people. Like that means you're doing something good, and I truly appreciate that. I'm so thankful for everybody joining in. Without y'all, it's no stream. It's just me sitting here talking with y'all. It's a fantastic show, and I'm so happy to have everybody on board. And 17 likes is fantastic. I truly appreciate it. So we have about 30 minutes left. Let me grab some coffee and a little bit of water. And get back to it. We got, so I didn't miss anything, Sherman, DJ Moore, or DeAndre Hopkins. Wait, what? That's not how you spell him. DeAndre Hopkins. High projection for Moore. That's crazy. That's a crazy high projection. But much lower risk for DeAndre. Higher ceiling. No bust chance. Tough opponent. Tough opponent. But 7 receptions still. I'm still trusting DeAndre Hopkins over DJ Moore. It's a point different, but the risk is 15 points ish. They're about the same floor, higher ceiling. I'm still trusting Nuke over Moore. I keep forgetting that the Texans are playing New England, and people are so afraid to start anybody who plays New England. I don't think the weather is going to be terrible in that game. It's home for the Texans. I don't think that's going to benefit them. I think the Cowboys would have put up more points against New England if the weather would have been better in that game. So I think with the weather being controlled in Houston, I think you're going to see the Patriots be a little bit more mortal on defense. Is Pouncey back? I don't. Wasn't he suspended for 3 games? Doesn't he want one more? Felipe, you're welcome. No problem, man. Gracias, mi amigo. Is there a giveaway this week, Justin? No. Will be one next week if we reach 35 likes. I see that Mello answered that one. You're my man, Mello. Thanks, man. And Nicholas as well. I see you answered. Thank you so much. And you texted some of your friends. Nicholas, holy crap, you're freaking amazing, man. That's thank you. Like, thank you. That's just amazing. Let's do a shout out because I see another Nicholas join in. Nicholas Camilleri, and Sleek. What's up, people? Welcome on board. We got Eden with a quarterback question in Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Jared Goff, Nick Foles, and Daniel Jones. Excuse me for a second. Had to sneeze, people. Sorry about that. We got Aaron Rodgers with the highest projection, low risk for Derek Carr, but that's a terrible projection. Very low projection, even though he's playing Arizona. Low projection with high risk, even though he's playing Tampa Bay. Rodgers has the highest projection. He does have a better risk than most of them. Daniel Jones has a lower risk, but doesn't have the same projection as Rodgers. Highest floor for Derek Carr, but ceiling is 8 points higher for Rodgers. So I'm definitely going Aaron Rodgers in this game. Is this a DFS question, or how do you have this many quarterbacks, Eden? Because this is, how do you have 5 quarterbacks? But I'm going Aaron Rodgers. I don't like the other ones. Melo, I need this win to get in playoffs, but I'll probably still be in, but better seeding, and I'm 11-1. Oh, dude, 11-1, my man. That's fantastic. I haven't really looked at my leagues. I'm in playoff seeding in all but one, and I need a win this week to get in. I should have. I think I've locked it up in 2 other leagues, so I haven't really looked what my rank or my record is. We got Corone, Jimmy G, or Nick Foles. This is going to be low projection for both. That's a high risk for a quarterback. Higher ceiling though, much higher, and higher floor. Easier opponent in Tampa Bay. This is Corone. I don't really see Foles going off. Whoops, why am I looking at receptions? I don't really see Foles going off even against Tampa Bay. I can see Jimmy being decent against Baltimore, even though they're fantastic against quarterbacks. I still trust that offense more to scheme stuff than I do Nick Foles being fantastic for Jacksonville. So I'm going Jimmy G over Nick Foles. Nicholas Corona is your neighbor, Justin? Holy crap. Oh, so y'all know each other like outside of did one of y'all bring the other one into the stream? And you text your friends too. Justin, thank you so much. Like, y'all are fantastic, and I love y'all so much. This show is just getting better and better every week. I feel we brought even more. And Mello brought you. So everybody know everybody. Oh, this is fantastic. And you know, like this is crazy. Demetrius, you missed the answer to your question. I said if you're just playing for seeding, Nicholas, or Demetrius, I will go with Darnold. Just like hope to go balls to the walls with him and have him score 35. In any other situation, I would go Tannehill. But if you're already in the playoffs, you're just playing for seeding, I will go with just massive upside with Darnold in this game against an easy opponent in Cincinnati. And Mello, you brought Gavin too. Like, y'all are fantastic people, and just making this show better each week with y'all being here and just asking questions, talking to each other, and being extremely nice to each other is always happy to see. I've seen other live streams that it's a lot of crap going on. This one is just fantastic to be a part of. We got Miracle Man who wants to know about the two Giants receivers in Sterling Shepard and Darius Slayton. Higher risk for Slayton, but 1.5 higher projection. This is a PPR one. And Shepard over Shepard in PPR. Yes, Shepard over Slayton in PPR. Definitely, Miracle Man. I could not agree more. Let's see, Mello, how are you gonna do the bet with Nick if Patrick Mahomes had a bye? I don't remember that bet, to be honest. We've kind of struggled with the Fantasy Rabbit Hole podcast in the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of stuff going on. I had like day work that got to be night work at one point, and we had to do some changing up. And I know Nick is out for next week as well, so we're struggling with our schedules, but we'll try to do better. And if we can, we'll revamp the show and have it back in the off season for sure. We're trying to find a third person to join in as well, so it'll be back, but it'll be in the same format, very viewer centric. We got Math Quest asking about Jameis Winston or Aaron Rodgers. I think I added. Nope. What just happened? Whoops. Jameis Winston or Aaron Rodgers. High projection, but they have about the same projection, about the same risk. Higher floor for Winston, higher ceiling for Rodgers. Both have easy opponents. I'm kind of leaning Jameis Winston on this one with the higher floor. But you're also riding the Buccaneer ship that Winston will throw 4 interceptions and then 3 touchdowns, and you just never know. Both have easy matchups, though. I feel a little bit more. I don't feel comfortable with Winston, to be honest, but I would start Winston over Rodgers, though, with a much higher floor for Winston. Floor, y'all know I love a good floor with a quarterback. Miracle Man, would weather play a factor in New York versus Green Bay? I have not seen that weather report, to be honest. Let's check it out. Weather forecast. Will it snow at MetLife on Sunday? When was this? This was from yesterday. Can't get on it. 2 hours ago. That's better. The Packers have a rich story, blah, blah, blah. Extreme weather conditions are in forecast, yeah. It won't be as bad as the Panthers game. And there should not be winds, they said. Yeah, it won't reach about 11 miles per hour. That's usually what impacts the quarterback. So I don't like snow, but I think it will play a factor. I don't think it will play that big of a factor like in the... They say Baltimore will have winds and rain. Nicholas Camilleri, Ryan Griffin, Auden Tate, Tyler Higbee. Auden Tate, Tyler Higbee. Pick 2 in half-point PPR. Tyler Higbee is not going to be my guy. I want Auden Tate. Higher projection, higher risk, but higher floor, higher ceiling than Tyler Higbee, who has the easiest matchup in the league, and he still doesn't reach above 3 points, which is concerning. Gerald Everett is out. So even with that out, I still want Auden Tate and Ryan Griffin. I really like Ryan Griffin today too. Mello, I did to a couple of friends, but can't to everyone because they're in you. That's fantastic. No, don't share too much. We got Sleek, Jonathan Williams, Tyler Boyd, or Devontae Parker in half-point PPR. Jonathan Williams has a massive amount of risk and a really high projection. 83.9 isn't too much though, considering the ceiling is 18.8, so he's 0.1 points below his ceiling and is still only 83% risk. That usually means like it should be 99, so that's a good indication. This is half-point PPR. Boyd doesn't really reach the other two, even with 7 receptions then. So I would gamble on Jonathan Williams, followed by Devontae Parker if you need 2, and lastly Tyler Boyd. In a PPR league, it would have been closer, but that's still a lot of receptions for Parker. So Williams, Parker, Boyd in that order in a half-point PPR. Justin is 10-2 in his league in half-point PPR. Half-point PPR, I love that y'all are playing that. It's the best. Lots on the wire Eden with quarterbacks. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Demetrius, you missed the question. Answer to your question. I think I got it. You brought Gavin, you brought Justin. Thank y'all so much. As I said before, it's fantastic that y'all share and spread the word. Sharing on social media helps a ton, as it brings more people and gets the word out there, and it's super fun to be part of this whole community. Nick is going to come down to the Cowboys versus Eagles for the division. Yeah, it's like that game against each other is going to be everything, because I think both teams kind of are terrible right now. Nicholas Camilleri, kicker question. Yes, Jason Myers or Michael Badgley. I'm going to copy. Maybe that's not how you spell it. Kicker. No, don't know what's wrong here. Do I have him as Mike? Yeah. Sometimes that's an issue. Or Austin Saber. Is that how you spell him? That is how you spell him. We don't need him because I really like Badgley. With 8 points, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling. He is a really good matchup against Denver. Well, matchup-wise, I think he's a good kicker. Probably the best one the Chargers have had in a long time. So I would go with Batchley. Demetrius, I have bye. I'm starting Darnold now. Should I drop Slayton and AJ Brown for Foles, Fitz, or Daniel Jones to get ready for Week 15? Let's bring Sam Darnold up and his schedule. He has a terrible schedule moving forward. Daniel Jones or Nick Foles. Let's look at their schedules. They don't have the best schedules either. Demetrius, check out csdfantasy.com. On Tuesday, I will have more information about the quarterbacks you should start for your fantasy playoffs in weeks 14 to 16 and do an analysis of the teams they're playing with how many interceptions they give up versus how many interceptions the quarterback throws and all that good stuff, and give you the best opportunity for the fantasy playoffs. So Sam Darnold kind of has some terrible matchups with 28th strength of schedule in 14 to 16, which is not good. He does have a really good matchup today. Foles as well, even though I don't trust Foles. This is probably the last week that you want to start Sam Darnold. Nicholas Camilleri, Devontae Parker, pick one. Devontae Parker, Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen, people don't talk about him at all now, do they? It's been really interesting. He went from, riches to rags really quickly, just being terrible. I don't know if it's Rivers not being able to complete a pass or what's happened to the Chargers passing game. It's just been awful, and Keenan Allen has not been helpful. This is half-point PPR. We got 3 receptions, 7 receptions, 5 receptions, ending at 12 for them and 11. Devontae Parker, Chris Carson has the lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling. So since it's a half-point PPR league, I'm going with Chris Carson. If this was a PPR league, I would have gone with Keenan Allen. Even though he has a low floor, he comes with more upside than Devontae Parker and lower risk for that 8.8. But now, since it's a half-point PPR, I like Chris Carson above the other two. That was Camilleri. We got Carone, McCoy, or Snell. LeSean McCoy or Benny Snell. It's a lot of risk for both of them, but I prefer LeSean McCoy with a higher projection, lower risk, higher floor, higher ceiling. And yeah, I prefer LeSean McCoy over Benny Snell. But I'm not super excited to play either of them. If they had prediction of 16 with this risk, yes. 12 with 80 and 9 with 90, it's uncomfortable. But LeSean over Benny, yeah. Mello, future weeks ahead, Freeman, Fuller, or AJ Brown, who to or Tate or Jared Cook trust more for playoffs? Which Freeman? Which Freeman? Devontae Freeman. I'm thinking baseball for whatever reason. Will Fuller, AJ Brown, Golden Tate, or it's Auden Tate or Jared Cook. Let's look at their schedules. I like Freeman and Fuller have really good schedules moving forward after this game. AJ Brown has the better matchup in this one, but they have the 6th and 3rd best schedule for their position. Golden Tate, 7th best schedule. He's out, but after this, he does have some really nice matchups that I would try to keep. I would try to keep him on my team. Yeah, I would try to keep Will Fuller too. I would probably drop AJ Brown for Golden Tate if you're just going by matchup. Nick Matt liked this video. Thank you so much. Tannehill or Rivers? It's going to be Ryan Tannehill. I'm going to bring it up. Philip Rivers. We got 12 more minutes left, Demetrius. Let us know. We're on 18 likes, so we're still a little bit short of that 35, but that's no problem at all. We're going to keep chugging away at it and keep more people coming in and asking and having a good time here on the live stream. I've had a fantastic day today, so I hope y'all had as well. But it's definitely Ryan Tannehill against Phillip Rivers. No doubt about it. He does have a higher floor, but the ceiling is 6 points difference. And projection 13.3 for a quarterback is just awful. I don't trust Rivers at all. James White or Darren Waller for and appreciate you Demetrius Bird saying Rivers too risky. Awesome, man. AJ Brown, no, James White or Darren Waller for Demetrius. Higher projection for Waller, lower risk, higher floor for White, but a much higher ceiling for Waller. Not sure if this is PPR, but both of them have 5 receptions. I'm going Darren Waller over James White. And we got AJ Brown and DJ Moore with wind. Yeah. I still think DJ Moore is the better player and pick, even though he comes with more risk. It does have a much higher projection, higher floor, higher ceiling, and it's projected for a lot more receptions. So I still like DJ Moore above AJ Brown, unless the wins are crazy. What are the wins saying? Like how strong wins? I'm checking real quick. I'm trying for next year. I will try to have a wind indicator, and that will be adjust the projection as well, which is going to be super fun. This doesn't seem right. Washington at home, Carolina. Oh, here we go. 11. The wins will be fine in this one then. Yeah, the wins should be fine for DJ Moore. 21, 29. Mine says 11. Wind 11 miles, 13, 14, 15 tops. You're saying 29? If it's 29, then it's crazy. Then I don't want it. Mine says 11 to 15. We got Auden Tate. Let's do a shout out because I see Michael Carone joined the chat. So we got 2 Carones. Welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. We got Auden Tate, Darius Slayton, Chase Edmonds, and half-point PPR. Let's see about the receptions. Got way more for Slayton. I like Slayton in this one. It's snow. It's not wind in New York, so that's a good one. So I prefer Slayton over the other 2. I know we're running low, so I'm going to speed it up because I see we have some more questions in. I'll have a great day if I win and the Jets. Good luck with that one, Mello. You got Nicholas Caron, so I'm guessing Michael is your brother. Happy to have you on board, Michael, as I said. Everyone spam Rodney until he says hi, Rodney. Hi, Rodney. You're on the team. Rodney is on the team. Yup, 29 miles per hour. That wind indicator sounds like a game changer. Gus, sorry. It says 9. Okay, yeah, so 9. Like that. I'm fine with starting DJ Moore in 9 to 12 miles per hour winds. I'm fine with that. 29 sounds like, I don't know, isn't that a storm? Your name is not Michael, it's Rodney. Okay. Rodney Hood. That's I'm gonna call you Rodney Caron then Rodney, even though it says Michael. But that was I don't think it's any more Demetrius, Robert Woods, Devontae Parker, Tyler Boyd. Pick 2. Is that PPR or standard Demetrius? Rodney is definitely on the team. Happy to have you on board, Rodney. PPR, perfect. I think Boyd has a buttload of receptions coming his way, but so does Parker and Woods with 5. Higher projection for Parker. I'm 13. So Parker is my number 1. Let's remove him out of the equation because you're starting Parker. Then you have a higher floor for Woods. Higher ceiling for Boyd. higher bust risk, higher boom chance for Woods. I like to start Woods then because the risks, they're fairly even, but a much higher protection, about almost 2 points, 1.6 or 7. So I like Robert Woods over Tyler Boyd. But Devontae Parker was the first one. Nicholas, his real name is Michael, but we call him Rodney. And Mama call him Rodney. I'm gonna call him Rodney. Yeah, you had Parker and Boyd. I would go with Parker and Woods. Steven, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you on board. Devontae Parker versus Keenan Allen. I would go with... they have roughly the same projection. Lower risk for Keenan Allen. Higher floor for Parker. Much higher ceiling for Allen. If this is a PPR league as well, I'm going Keenan Allen over Devontae Parker for upside. So I'm going Keenan Allen over Devontae Parker. We got Matt Walsh. What's up, Joe? What's up, Matt? Mello, Aaron Rodgers, or Sam Darnold. I like Darnold in this one. If you're playing for seeding, just for upside. Otherwise, I'm going Rodgers. But if you're just going for like trying to get a better seed, I will go with Darnold. My younger brother is now my older brother's account. That's hilarious. Steven, happy to help. No problem, man. And it's about to be game time in a few minutes. I'm gonna stick around if anything comes in. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this stream as well. CSDFantasy.com will have playoff preparation numbers on Tuesday, score projection on Thursday, as always, where I provide my 4 must starts and my 4 high risk, high rewards players. There will be another video coming out next week. You can suggest players by commenting on the Lamar Jackson video with who you want to see fantasy snapshot of, or if you want a head-to-head of 2 players, please suggest that by commenting on one of the videos as well. Other than that, like, this stream has been fantastic. So much fun to get to know y'all a little bit better. We got Tommaso McPhee joining in and saying Cortland Sutton or Sanu. Or Mohamed Sanu. I like Sutton with a lower risk, higher projection, higher floor, and higher ceiling. Terrible opponent to play for a wide receiver, but I'm fine with that because Cortland Sutton is a beast. And I think he's a fantastic player. His numbers are more impressive than Sanu, who plays Houston, who are the 3rd worst opponent for wide receiver to face. So it's not like he has a fantastic matchup either. It's not like, he's playing Tampa Bay or something. So I would go with Cortland Sutton over Mohamed Sanu. And Keenan Allen or Sutton, I would go with Keenan Allen for upside in this game. High projection, risk is lower for Sutton, higher floor for Sutton, but it's so much, like, you want that 17.7. I want that ceiling with Keenan Allen in this game. And a PPR situation, I think Keenan Allen is going to catch a lot of balls against Denver. Nicholas, I don't think we're going to reach 35. We're at 23. I purposely set it at 35 to, I want to push it. I know we've reached 25 and 20. So I wanted to move the goalpost a little bit and see what we can do as a community and bring even more people on board. I'm having a ton of fun doing these shows, and I've done 1 hour and 4 minutes right now, and it feels like maybe 20. So I'm having a ton of fun, and I hope y'all had a good time as well. It's about to be kickoff, so I'm about to sign off. Thank y'all so much for joining me here today. Like I said before, check out CSDFantasy.com for even more content on Tuesday and Thursday, and comment on one of the videos with the fantasy snapshot players or head-to-heads y'all would like to see next week here on the YouTube channel. And good luck with your games today.
in your league's postseason. All the best to all of you competing with your friends, family, and neighbors.